Welcome back to another episode of Gridiron Grind. Creta, Jimmy G. What's up, Jimmy?
What's going on, Creta?
Nothing, man. I couldn't be more excited.
It's almost time,
dude. I'm just, this is one of the worst weeks because the anticipation is what kills you. It's just, we got football Thursday, and we had it last week. I call it like a soft opening.
Yeah.
A couple games.
The restaurant doesn't have all the food ready.
Exactly.
They're going to give you a little preview of what they like.
It's a great way to put it. This week we get all the food, Yeah. And then next week starts dessert because on Sunday, NFL. So, but I'm excited. Get the band going, get the pom-poms ready, the chants, the fight songs fired up. It's football season, and it's a heck of a slate. So I guess let's just jump into it. What do you think? What's some of your most interesting games this weekend?
Interesting games this weekend. One is a Thursday game, and it's for the Oklahoma State fans listening. I don't really think it's going to be close, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Central Michigan, Oklahoma State. Last time Central Michigan came in Stillwater, OSU ranked 24th, had the later determined to be an illegal down, but just like Dez caught it, does you no good, does it poke fans. Cooper Rush beat them. So that's a revenge game. I think Oklahoma State's going to roll them, but that's always, they thought they're going to roll them the last time too.
That was one of the worst officiating calls I've ever 100%. Seen in my life.
Untimed down, like a fifth down. And
exactly. It was so bad they even the next day said, you know what? Yep, we screwed that up. Yep. They didn't even try to.
Yeah, no covering it. And
screwed it up.
Oh, we're going to change the rule. Yeah, Dez caught it. Everyone knew that Dez caught it. Green Bay knew Dez caught it. But so, yeah, I think that one, obviously I got to go with my Hogs, the Cincinnati and Arkansas.
That's going to be a good one. Sneaky good one.
Fickle is not announcing publicly who the quarterback is, so I've tried to have guys go on the inside there at Cincinnati and see if we can get footage. He's not coming off of it. And like you said, the anticipation for this weekend for me, this will probably make or break the season because I think there's high expectations in favor. 100%.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, we all know how good they were last year. We know they're not the same team, losing several key pieces both sides of the ball, but. And like I said, things are high in Fayetteville right now.
It's going to be hard to accomplish what you want to accomplish there in Fayetteville this year if you have a season opening loss at home to Cincinnati. A depleted Cincinnati. I mean, they're still going to be good. I think it's a 6-point spread. Arkansas favored by 6 at home. I like the Hogs, by the way. Get me down for that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take the Hogs -6. Just too much turnover for Cincinnati. And like I said, I like teams when you got both coordinators back, Barry Odom and Kendall Briles. You got KJ Jefferson back. They can run the football. I like the Hogs. I could see some close moments in that game, but I think the Hogs can win by at least a touchdown.
At home, if this is in Cincinnati, I'd be a lot more concerned. But so that's one of my games really to watch this weekend for obvious reasons. Also, another one is Oregon, Georgia.
Yep.
Because Georgia, what did they lose? We all know what they lost. So what are they going to do? How are they going to look coming into this season? Oregon, now it seems like all the Pac-12 teams are trying to audition for other conferences. So this is a statement game for Oregon. If they can even hang close, they can say, hey, look, guys, we belong. Invite us. Get us out of here. Get us somewhere.
One thing I'll say about that one, Oregon returns 15 starters from that team last year. And they were a good team. They made the Pac-12 championship. Got beat by Utah, but and Utah was a heck of a team. So they get 15 starters back. They get the quarterback back. They upset. Remember, they upset Ohio State last year in Columbus. Mm-hmm. So it's a good team. And Georgia had 8 guys drafted off that defense last year. They still get number 4, the outside linebacker in Nolan Smith, who just had an outstanding game in the national championship. They get him back, but offensively, I think Georgia is going to be even better. Get Stetson Bennett back. The tight ends, the Eric Gilbert and Bowers, maybe the best combination of tight ends in the entire country. They're going to be able to run the ball. They got big offensive linemen. Georgia, it might look like it on paper that they're, lost a lot from maybe the best defense of all time, but they're reloading. You don't recruit 5 stars every year to have a drop off. So, they're not going to be maybe as good as they were, but I still think Georgia's going to be a heck of a football team. It should be a pretty good game. It's a 16.5-point spread right now. I ain't touching it.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a
because
little because that could go.
they could win by
um,
14. You know, you could get a
and you're
late
done.
touchdown by Oregon to win by
Hmm.
14. You never know how that could happen, but
And
it should be a
Stetson
very
Bennett
good
is
game.
undervalued. I think he doesn't turn the ball. I mean,
Yeah,
he does what he has to do. He's not Justin Fields. He wasn't, what JT
right.
Daniels was supposed to be.
He's the
But
definition of a game manager. People
game
say game
manager
manager.
makes the right read, makes the right
Exactly.
pass. He's
Doesn't
not going to throw the 80-yard bomb
right.
off one knee, but he's going to lead you down the field and put points on the board. So yeah, that.
Exactly. He's going to keep you ahead of the chains.
And then also on that, a lot of mine are just kind of the like Ohio State, Notre Dame. We know what that
I'm
one.
excited to see how good Ohio State really is.
I'm excited to see both of them because
Yeah.
we talked in that fourth playoff spot. This is going to be huge for Notre Dame. One, they either have to check and go, okay, well, let's tweak some stuff, or they go, guys, we are better than we thought than we were.
Right.
And
I think we both talked about having them in the playoff. In
mm-hmm.
my opinion, I think Notre Dame loses Saturday to Ohio State, and it might not be close because I have a feeling Ohio State's going to be really good. But then I think Notre Dame really can win out. I think they can go 11-1. So we'll see how Saturday goes. But I think they're going to be a way better team in that first week in December than they are this first week in September.
And if they win out impressively, this could be the same scenario like you see the SEC get, where the East, Georgia is undefeated. They may lose to Bama in the SEC title game, but it's one loss, and so they automatically get in. You may see this too if Notre Dame wins convincingly the rest of the way out. I could see them with this being their only loss in Ohio State. If Ohio State does what they're supposed to do, how do you hold that against Notre Dame? Well, yeah,
Right.
you lost to the number 1 or 2 team in the nation beginning of the season, first game. So that one. And then lastly, a game that I know you'll be watching, Louisiana Monroe, Texas, the beginning of the Quinn Ewers era. This is there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure this year with ties into the future for this. So this is I'm interested to see how this is going to start. Frosted tips and all on Quinn Ewers there.
What I'll say is if he feels a lot of pressure on Saturday against Louisiana Monroe, then I don't want to watch the next Saturday when he's got to play Alabama. So hopefully he, I would imagine Sark has a not too complicated game plan because you don't want to show Alabama too much, but a one where, hey, we're going to run these plays because that's what Quinn runs really well and get him off to a fast start and try to make it as simple and as easy as possible for him in his first start. And you just don't want any hiccups here. It's a 37.5-point spread. If I had to go with one, I would go with ULM. I mean, I know they're not very good, but I mean, Texas beat Rice last year 56-0 after Arkansas pounded them. But it's hard for me to think with basically a freshman quarterback that you're beating somebody, and the defense was not good last year, and then you're beating somebody 38-0 out the gate, or beating them by 38 out the gate. I don't. If I had to pick that one, I'm not taking it. But if I had to, I would take Monroe and the points in this one, in that one.
I kind of agree. Like you said, it's too many unknowns, and like I said, there's a lot of pressure on this to see how this works. You had the guys that wanted Quinn, like we've talked about, this Quinn versus Arch fantasy matchup that's projected to happen in Austin, and so this is the start of the Quinn Ewers era. So that's a game I'm excited to watch to see how this goes.
If Sark's up 35 points in the fourth quarter, and you got Texas minus 37.5. Texas up 35, say it's 35-0, 35 points. I mean, you feel pretty good about beating anybody by 35 points. They're not going to be trying to score.
No.
Monroe would have to be so bad that they couldn't stop him. Sark ain't going to take any chances if he's ahead 35 points in the fourth quarter. So that's the games I worry about. It's a lot of points because anytime a guy can feel good about winning – and he doesn't need to score anymore, I worry about taking those big spreads like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't be scared of that big spread.
Go for it.
Because sometimes those are the easiest bets. Like, I should have seen they won by 50, They beat Rice 56-0 after Arkansas. The spread was only like 30. You know what I mean? So sometimes those big 8 spreads aren't enough. So
I agree.
Another game I'm super excited about because I'm really high on Utah this year. They got to go cross country, Utah at Florida. Billy Napier's first game as head coach at Florida. Florida underachieved last year. I got high hopes for Utah. I think we both have them winning the Pac-12. Both have over tickets on them. I know for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big game. See how good Utah is. We'll know a lot about Utah and Florida after this one. Utah's favored by 3 on the road at Gainesville. The Swamp's not easy to win at, but I'm a big believer in Utah, so I'm gonna be locked into that one. Utah at Florida.
Yeah, it's a game I'm going to follow because I think I'm going to take Utah in that as well. I
Really?
think it's one of those. Let's go all in. Let's
Yeah,
go.
it's
If
true.
we like Utah, let's go Utah kind of deal. And so I'm going to be following that. But you're right. I think, like I said earlier, I think now this is another audition game for a team like Utah.
Yeah.
Hey, SEC, Big 10, Big 12, someone, let's here's what I can do against this quality competition. So I think it's an audition game for Utah, and it's a game that they need to win because it's a resume game. So I'm going to be watching it as well.
All right. Well, week 1 is upon us. Super excited. I guess let's get to some picks. How many plays you take? How many picks you got?
I got a couple. I think you and I probably have some of the same plays. What we talked about, the Utah -3. I'm taking that. I'm taking Arkansas -6. I think we either blow them out or we get that one late. I like that one. I like one that I saw you had that I'm glad this made, I like to bounce my picks off people, and this kind of makes me feel better, was Illinois +3.
Love that one. That's probably my pick of the week if I had to, and that's what, Friday night game.
Yes,
Love
Friday. That's
Illinois
Friday.
+3.
Illinois at Indiana.
Yeah.
7 o'clock game.
I think Indiana's going to be terrible this year. They were terrible last year. I think they're going to be just as bad. Illinois is on the up. Love what I saw. They played Wyoming last week on Saturday. Ran it all over them. Love the running back. Big fan of Bielema, Illinois.
Another one that I'm not. I don't know. It's on my list. It'll probably be a game time decision. Is UTEP at Oklahoma?
Yeah.
OU 31.5. General Booty, Mount Rushmore, all-time name team.
Yep.
At quarterback, the Venables era starts there in Norman. I personally think there's going to be a drop-off. There may not be, but I know you can't lose talent like Lincoln Riley, Caleb Williams, their boy Hazelwood transferred to us. So there's a lot of things to be replaced that Sooners team. And UTSA, not UTS, excuse me, UTEP, as we've talked, they're a team to watch this year. So I think UTEP may take UTEP in that.
A little disappointed in UTEP over the weekend. I felt like they left a lot out there against North Texas. They did not. It was basically a pick 'em, and I was on UTEP, but they were not as good as North Texas. I felt like they left some opportunities in that first half. They didn't capitalize, and I was a little disappointed in the old Miners. I'm not going to lie. Stayed up late Saturday to watch that one.
That's what shocked me as well.
North Texas was a better team. North Texas is going to have their hands full this week. They got SMU back at home, though, so I might have a little action on that one.
I like, I thought I went back and forth, and I think I may actually touch the. I was looking through my notes here. I may actually touch the Ohio State game a little bit
against Notre Dame.
Yeah, I may take that. I may take Ohio State.
Last time I looked at it, was 17.5 Ohio State.
Yeah, that's what it is, 17.5. I may take that just because I think Ohio State. It was Ohio State for me. It was Ohio State or USC. USC is.
Yeah, I would go Rice. I'd definitely go Rice in that game.
And I could see Lincoln Riley trying to come out and make a splash and make a statement and running the score up.
That's true.
I think the team that's more capable to do it to me is Ohio State instead of an overrated USC team. So I may take Ohio State. I'm pretty confident in that. I think Ohio State might take it, might cover that 17.
You might be onto something there with that Ohio State. I mean, I really think Ohio State might be. It could be them and Alabama all year long. We could be talking about them like we were talking about Alabama, Georgia last year. I think Alabama's going to be better than they were last year, and I think Ohio State's going to be significantly better because their problem last year was defense. They had all those receivers. They could score on anybody, but they couldn't stop a nosebleed. and they got Jim Knowles from Oklahoma State, and you saw what he did at Oklahoma
Yeah.
State. He completely changed their defense. They went from winning 7, 8 games a year to winning 9, 10, 11 games a year because Jim Knowles figured out how to get them to play defense. And I think you put him at Ohio State with the athletes they got. I think Ohio State's going to be really good, and I think you're right. Notre Dame's starting, I think, a redshirt freshman quarterback. You know, your first start, you got to play Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck, bud.
Yeah, it's
Good.
big.
I think that's going to be a good take.
And you're right, new DC there in Ohio State. He's not going to have a linebacker trying to cover a guy like Devontae Smith, like they did in that game.
Yeah.
Where I was like, he's the Heisman Trophy winner, and you put a linebacker on him. Okay. And so, yeah, so I think Ohio State may very well cover.
That's a good point.
That's kind of if I had to take a higher point spread, a 10-plus spread, I might take Ohio State minus 17 and a half at home against Notre Dame.
Yeah, I might. You've kind of talked me into that. I like it. I talked about I'm on Arkansas -6. I'm a believer in Arkansas this year. Got KJ Jefferson back. You got the coordinators back. I mean, I think at worst they're going to be the same team as last year. You know, you lose Treylon Burks, that scares me. You got to fund, but I think Hazelwood will step in and have that connection with Jefferson. So I think Arkansas at worst is going to be the same team last year. That's their floor. I think ceiling wise they could get to 10 wins. Either way, I like Arkansas. Cincinnati's the exact opposite. You kind of know what you have in Arkansas. Cincinnati, they lost everybody. They made the playoff last year, lost the quarterback, lost most of the defense. You know, don't know what they have. So I feel confident. Arkansas at home, -6 against Cincinnati. Thursday night, a game I'm excited because I love rivalries. Backyard Brawl is back Thursday night. West Virginia will play Pittsburgh. And a lot of connections here because if you remember, West Virginia's quarterback is JT Daniels, 5-star, went from USC. He graduated high school early, started as what would have been he should have been a senior in high school, and he started. Came to Austin in Texas, beat the crap out of him there back in, I think it was in 2018. Didn't work out for him. He got benched, okay? So then Daniels goes to Georgia for the last couple of years, now transfers to West Virginia. But the guy he got benched for is Kelvin Slovis, who just transferred from USC and now is starting quarterback at Pittsburgh. So you got Daniels versus Slovis, and the guy who made that decision was offensive coordinator Graham Harrell, and he's the offensive coordinator at West Virginia. So a lot of good ties to that game. I'm excited to watch it. I got West Virginia +7.5. Pittsburgh lost a quarterback. They lost Jordan Addison. West Virginia has been a solid football team, and I mean, if Pittsburgh wins by a touchdown, I'd still be in the money. Because I got the hook. So I'm taking West Virginia +7.5 in that one.
I agree. Give me a team with motivation, and I'll give you a backdoor cover. I think so. I think West Virginia may win that one outright. It's in Pittsburgh, so I don't know. But, yeah, I like that. Could be a close game.
Could be a close game. And then give me the team favored by more than a touchdown. Or, excuse me, getting more than a touchdown. So I like West Virginia getting the points. Another one I mentioned, Illinois. Illinois, that's maybe my favorite one. They play Friday night. +3. I think Illinois wins that game against Indiana. Also, here's maybe one that you got to hold your butt for 3 hours watching this game. Appalachian State was a pick 'em. Now they're a +1. I just checked before the show started. So now you're getting +1.5. Appalachian State at home against the University of North Carolina. The only thing that worries me, North Carolina did play last week and beat the tar out of Florida A&M. But I watched that whole game. It was a competitive game. Florida A&M is really good for their level. Like, they're a very good team. They won 9 games last year. They got a good quarterback, and he was really good with the football. North Carolina just had more talent. But they started a new quarterback who had 5 touchdowns and threw it over the yard. But you're telling me a program that is well-run as Appalachian State, they weren't just sitting there taking notes. I mean, they're going to be prepared. And the thing that stands out to me is, okay, it's North Carolina, Appalachian State. Why is it close to a pick 'em or only 1.5? That doesn't make sense.
Right.
And we've always talked about, we have a rule. If it smells funny, take it. Take it the opposite way. Like, why is North Carolina only favored by 1.5? Probably most people are like, oh, we got to take the bigger school.
Yeah, oh man, North Carolina 1.5. Perfect. I can't believe it's that low.
Vegas doesn't become a billion-dollar business by getting on the wrong side of things.
Yeah.
But I think they think everybody's going to take North Carolina, and the last time I checked, more bets and money are on North Carolina. Something doesn't seem right. Give me Appalachian State at home against North Carolina plus 1.5.
I like it. I like it. And you're exactly right. If it smells funny, it's funny for a reason. Go the other way.
Yep.
Vegas is hardly wrong.
They're hardly wrong.
They come out on top.
They win more than we do. So
100%.
I'm trying to throw the tea leaves they send our way. So I like Appalachian State with the upset of North Carolina. North Texas is at home playing SMU. SMU always been good. They get a new quarterback in Rhett Lashley. No head coach in Rhett Lashley. The quarterback is Tanner Mordecai, transferred from Oklahoma, and he was a quarterback last year. North Texas at home. They've already played a game, so I like that. Usually teams get better from week 1 to week 2, especially North Texas got the road win at Utep. Now they come home, face SMU. They're getting 10.5. I like it because of the hook. Give me North Texas Mean Green plus 10.5. And then another one I am super excited about, Oregon State. And I think Oregon State's going to be a really good football team this year. I think they won 6 or 7 last year. I think they improve on that this year. But they play Boise State. It's at home. Again, it kind of reminds me of the game last year when I took it was Boise State, Oklahoma State. I thought Oklahoma State was better. I took them on the road at Boise State. Boise State won by a point. You kind of get that feel, but this time it's at Oregon State. Boise State's going to be pretty good. But I like the Beavers. So -3. It's a night game. Those guys get rocking. They have a big-time home advantage. The students show up at Oregon State. So give me the Beavers -3 at home against Boise State.
I like that. And a bonus pick may look at Western Kentucky, Hawaii. That's a long plane ride there for Western Kentucky.
It's true.
Hawaii is one step up from you and I playing right now. So
they're not great.
They're not great. So that may be one to watch. Like I said, Hawaii was one of our picks for under 4 games this year.
Yep.
So
off to a great start.
Yeah, off to a great start. 0-1. They could be 0-2. I think Western Kentucky definitely wins, and Western Kentucky may cover as well.
I like it. Last one I have for you is the game that is happening Sunday night. Florida State, LSU. It's +3. Florida State, I like them. Florida State had 3 guys. Now, they played Duquesne last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State had 3 guys rush for over 100 yards each. So they're committed to running the football. They have talent. They just haven't been able to put it together. But I think Norvell's in his 3rd or 4th year. LSU, they were depleted. It's Brian Kelly's first year. Big-time game. I like the Florida State's more experienced. They know it. They have it. They've been there. They have the program in place. I like Florida State +3 against LSU.
Yeah, start of the Brian Kelly era. We'll get to see how that goes. He's getting some commits, getting some decent commits, but is that him or is that
a great
LSU?
class? Yeah,
I tend to lean towards it's LSU. They're always going to get, they do a pretty good job building a fence around that state. So I don't know how much it's him.
I don't know. Tell that to Texas with Arch Manning and that 5-star safety Derek Williams. Texas has got 2 5-stars out of LSU.
But I don't think Arch was ever going to LSU.
That's true. He was
Brian Kelly. Again,
the other guy,
another guy.
Yeah,
Brian
the other
Kelly
safety.
don't develop quarterbacks. Brian Kelly's the perfect coach for LSU. Everyone besides Nick Saban can't get a quarterback unless it's a transfer guy. Doesn't develop them. Can't get them. Don't know what it is. Can't for the life of me figure out why a quarterback don't want to go to LSU unless it's a transfer. That's a conversation maybe for next show. But Florida State's got to be better. The ACC as a conference needs Florida State and Miami to be better. I think both teams are going to be better, and so it wouldn't surprise me if Florida State goes down there and shocks. I may put some money on that.
I like it, and have something to do Sunday night. Watch that. Be really locked into that game. It's in New Orleans, so might as well be a home game. But Florida State +3. Give it to me. We'll see it rocks and rolls. Remember last year they opened up with Notre Dame against Brian Kelly last year. Went to overtime. Notre Dame ended up winning that game. So this time I think Florida State gets the better of Brian Kelly. So to recap, I got West Virginia plus 7.5 Thursday night. Illinois plus 3 on Friday. App State, and my Saturday picks are App State to beat North Carolina. That's a pick 'em. All right. I'm taking them on the money line. They're now plus 1.5, but I'm taking money line. App State, money line. Arkansas minus 6. North Texas plus 10.5. Oregon State minus 3. Florida State plus 3. What's your recap?
I like it. I can recap. I like it. I like everything. I go back and forth. I always put a lot on paper. What I end up putting in.
I have to cut away. Yeah.
You I have to cut away. I end up talking myself out of stuff. Sometimes it ends up good. Sometimes it ends up bad. So I'll have to go. Like I said, it's always a game time decision for me. Plus, knowing my luck, I remember a few years ago we had Florida State, and then Jameis Winston got suspended. So,
yep.
I tend to make those last minute decisions. I'm excited for football on Sunday.
Yeah,
college football, and then of course we have Clemson, Georgia Tech on Monday. Really not worth only mentioning because it's kind of a fool.
Yeah, it's a standalone game, but Georgia Tech's terrible.
Yeah, Georgia Tech's terrible. Another less than 4-win team. But then, like you said, that preps us for football on Sunday, big time football now.
Yeah, absolutely. What? So who are your final? What are your final picks?
I went with
Utah.
Went with Utah.
Minus
went
3.
With Arkansas.
Yep.
Ohio State. We already said Utah.
Illinois.
And Illinois. Yep. And Illinois, I'm probably going to sprinkle on Florida State and
Western Kentucky and OU.
Yeah, I may take Western Kentucky and UTEP. Yeah, and UTEP, OU. Those are kind of in my kind of put a name in a hat and kind of pull one out kind of thing. And those will be last minute additions or subtractions. And then you may have talked me into Appalachian State. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't feel great about that one. Like the line, the Vegas thing, that's what makes me feel good about it. But I mean, I'm going with it. I'm rocking it. I will say Illinois plus 3 Friday night's my favorite. It's my favorite underdog. I don't have a lot of favorites. My favorite, I guess, is Arkansas minus 6. I only have 2 favorites. Arkansas minus 6, Oregon State minus 3. I like Arkansas minus 6, But so we'll see. I pick and if I had to play the Horns, Monroe, I'm not going to do it, but I'd take Monroe. Man, that's 37.5. That's a lot of points.
38, yeah. That's a lot of first game, a lot of new. I mean, I could see Sark letting them come out firing, but like you said, you don't want to show Alabama too much. So 37-point win is.
And another thing, we have 1, maybe 2 elite players. Bijan Robinson and then Xavier Worthy receiver. I mean, how much, if we're comfortably in the lead, how much do they even play the second half?
Right.
That's another reason. We don't have a lot of depth at receiver. Texas doesn't. But running backs probably the deepest position. So Texas has really good running backs. Receivers, they don't. They're not too deep at receiver. Therefore, another reason why they might not be running the score up in the second half, they might just be concentrating on their run game.
Yeah, and like you said, you don't want to get anyone hurt because Alabama.
It's a big one on deck.
You don't want to risk anything. You don't want to risk the future of the pro. Monroe may do that one, but then you'll have the people go, man, Texas can't even beat Louisiana Monroe by they only beat them by 17, and it's like, yeah, but there's a bigger picture than that.
Yeah. So if it's only 17, I don't know. Because Monroe's not good. I would hope it's at least mid-upper 20s, minimum. Maybe even 30. Maybe even 31.
Okay.
I mean, I think if you don't win by at least 20, that's a lot of red flags going off because Louisiana Monroe is not good. But, hey, yeah, say that. They played LSU super tough last year, and they played Kentucky super tough. So say that, and I mean,
mess around and
now I'm gonna be. Now you got me worried. Now I'm gonna be worried on Saturday night. You'll be over. I know you'll be over here, and you'll be just chirping.
Woo, man! Warhawks, look out! That's a Warhawk touchdown. Yeah.
Yep. I might have to be worried now. Just win, baby. Just Al Davis.
And you know they play close games. They play other than Appalachian State. I mean, they LSU 27-14. There's 13.
Could be in for one. Both of us.
The Raging Cajuns. They only lost to them at 5.
Well, we beat the Raging Cajuns by 20 last year. So
there you go.
All right. Well, that's Gridiron Grind in the books. Excited. It's going to be a fun weekend, Labor Day weekend, opening weekend of college football. Next week, we'll talk NFL. We'll talk the big college games. Got Texas, Alabama for sure. We'll talk about that I'm going to be at. And then we'll also talk Dallas Cowboys NFL. Thanks for joining us. Check us out, our YouTube. And we'll be back next week. See you, Jimmy.